I welcome the session chair, Mrs. Saida Fahim, Assistant Professor in English. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Danish. Let's begin with this session. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of University Polytechnic, I welcome you all to this Atal AICT Faculty Development Program on Advanced MATLAB for Scientific Computing. This session is going to be slightly different from the others. In this, we are going to talk about mental health, which has been a very important area of public health. And especially during the COVID times, it has become even more important and relevant for all of us due to a rise in cases of stress, anxiety, and depression. It is our privilege to have Dr. Sara Javed with us, and she's going to show immense light upon how to manage our stress levels and how to create awareness and how to deal with and tackle the problems that we are facing because of all these, the ongoing crisis that we are having. So I just want to read a brief bio of Dr. Sara Javed for all of you. Dr. Sara Javed has worked as an assistant professor in Department of Psychology, AMU. She is associated with various organizations for telecounseling services like Students Counseling Center of AMU, Manodarpan, MHRD Telecounseling Program, Speaking Cube, Indian Academy of Health Psychology, etc. She completed her PhD in clinical psychology from Department of Psychiatry, Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, AMU, on the topic of cognitive remediation therapy for schizophrenic and depressive patients. Her research areas are cognitive psychology, clinical psychology, positive psychology, health psychology, and personality. She completed her master's in clinical psychology with second position in her batch and graduation in psychology honors from AMU. She was awarded with Young Scientist Award by AICPERT, Inspirational Women Awards 2021, Best Research Paper Awards in National Webinar on Environment and We Reimagine, Recreate and Restore, organized by Department of Geography under the aegis of IQAC, India. And with Best Research Paper Award in International Conference on CBT Interventions India 2017, organized by Indian Association of Cognitive Behavioral Therapy at AIMS. She has co-authored 2 books entitled Coronavirus Pandemic Effects, Prevention and Management, and Behavioral Symptoms in Patients with Major Neurocognitive Disorder. She has presented various papers in international and national conferences, 18 papers to be more precise, and she has 15 publications in various prestigious refereed journals, national and international journals. And the list is endless. So I just want to cut it short. And I just want to welcome Dr. Sara to take her time out from her busy schedule and accept our offer of being a speaker to this. So over to you, Sara. Over to you, Dr. Sara. Looking forward for an interesting and enlightening session ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mrs. Saida Fahim. Thank you very much for this generous introduction of mine. So I'm really grateful to Mr. Syed Imran, Mr. Danish, and in fact, the entire civil engineering fraternity for inviting me as a resource person and giving me an opportunity to de-stress a bunch of engineers. So, okay, when I was asked to give a topic for my lecture, I was wondering like how I can relate psychology with engineering. I was pondering over it. Like I was getting a message, you have to submit a topic for your presentation. I was wondering like how can I relate psychology with engineering? Well, to be precise, psychology is everywhere. Indeed, psychology is everywhere. But likewise, I wanted to include it in my topic as well. So me, being a layman, when we talk about engineering, though I have many engineers in my family, but still I'm not much acquainted with it. When the word engineering comes up, the thing which pops up to our mind is electricity. We being a layman person, we relate it to electricity. So in fact, you can go out for a survey and you can ask any layman that what do you think engineers do? So they may reply, they play with electricity. So I thought, okay, this can help me to give a title to my topic that can be unplug, right? Unplug is somehow, I found it somehow related to engineering. So I thought, okay, this can be the best topic which I can select, and unplug to de-stress. Yes, unplug to de-stress is one of the very important topic which I think, which especially you engineers need to know, like how we can de-stress ourselves from this stressful situation. So you can see the famous quotation of Annie Lamott, which state almost everything will work again if you unplug it for few minutes, including you. Almost everything. So yes, you need to unplug it. You need to unplug. What you need to unplug, I'll be telling you there. And with this, I'm here to unplug your stress, and I will be briefly discussing about these things in my presentation. I will be talking about the level of what is stress, like what is the concept of stress. There are certain good stress as well. What are the symptoms of stress, how we can manage it, and finally, I will be giving you a 15-minute relaxation. Yeah, that 15 minutes, a beautiful time which you can actually relate to when you will go for this relaxation therapy, which I will be giving you in this presentation of mine. Just have a look at this graphical representation of of world's leading causes of death, which is this is not my representation. This representation has been given by WHO. So I want you all to realize one thing. That 7 of the top causes of death is related to stress. Yeah, 7. You can see it. You must be wondering, ma'am, it's ischemic heart attack, it's stroke, and it's you can see on the screen. So how is it related to stress? Well, now let me tell you. If your doctor say you're talking about, if your doctor is basically concerned about your blood pressure, then is it related to stress? Yes, it is related to stress. If you are constantly eliciting the stress response and the cortisol is being washed through your body, it stiffens your veins and arteries and they become stiff. When your veins and artery become stiff, your heart ultimately has to work a bit harder. It need to work a bit harder to pump the blood through the stiff arteries. And this hard pumping of your heart and this thing lead to blood pressure, which ultimately results in heart diseases, which is the #1 cause of death for both men and women, and ultimately it starts with stress. Well, you may be saying that, ma'am, my doctors say that my cholesterol level is quite high. So how is it related to stress? Now, again, it is directly related to stress. When you are stressed and the cortisol is constantly washed through your body, it creates little injury pockets. A little bit of injury pockets are created throughout your body. And those pockets become basically a place where cholesterol can hang on to. And these little injury sites, they become the place where basically cholesterol come and deposit themselves. And ultimately, this can result in increasing your cholesterol level, which is basically the outcome of stress. And now another genetic disease, Alzheimer, or any of the mild cognitive impairment. Yeah, it also have direct influence of stress. Because as you experience stress, there is washing of cholesterol from your brain. It's continuously being washed through your brain, and this cortisol release leads to increase in Alzheimer's disease. It leads to increase in cognitive impairment. Now, this is the circumstances, like these are the things which are basically caused by stress, but you don't know what stress is. So this is what stress is. Stress is a psychological and physiological imbalance caused to demanding circumstances from individuals' ability to meet those needs. Like what happened whenever we encounter any stressful situation. Some of the people, a same situation may be stressful for some and it may not be stressful for others. Now the question arises, why? Because the person who is encountered with the stressful situation, if he thinks that this stressful situation is exceeding my resources, it is exceeding my ability, it is exceeding my coping skills, then ultimately it results in stress. Well, if you if you basically make consider this thing as no, it is not going to increase my stress. I'll be able to come out with this. It's a part of life. It's okay. Come on, we will meet up this challenge. Or use certain positive cognitive statements, which I will be telling you how you can basically think that yes, this is not increasing my, not more than my coping skills. Then if you think like in this manner, ultimately you will not face the stress. But if you think that it is increasing your ability to meet those needs and to meet those the demands of the situation, then it results in stress. Stress is prevalent throughout the globe. It's not like it's more in India, it's more anywhere, it's not more over here. No, it's the stress is a phenomena which is witnessed throughout the globe. Everywhere you will encounter people who may be facing the stress. And yeah, the good part, as you can see in the slide, is that India ranks India falls on the 14th number, and that's not a good sign at least, but at least better sign. We should always look at the positive side, but at least चलो ऊपर तो नहीं है, 14th आ रहा है. But again, it's like this is a universal phenomena. People anywhere, everywhere, they encounter stress. They encounter stress. Like in Nigeria, it is the most stressful country. South Africa, it's the second, and this survey was done by WHO itself. And South Africa, it's another. It falls on the second list. And let me tell you, the suicide rates in Africa, it's on the top list. Like every now and then you are encountering situation. Every now and then you're getting to know, like, people are dying around. Some people are committing suicide. Some people are dying by the heart attack. Like, let's take an example of Sushant Singh. He committed suicide. Why I'm taking the celebrities? Because people are much aware of it. That is why I'm using their example. Recently, Siddharth Shukla, he ended up with a heart attack. He was a 40 years old young guy who was an exercise freak. He was fitness freak person. He visited he used to go for the gym, but ultimately he ended up in heart attack. Now, what was the reason behind it? Why the prevalence of stress, why the prevalence of a heart attack is increasing, why the prevalence of suicide rates are increasing? This is becoming a big question. This is becoming a big question for all of us. And yes, we being mental health expert need to address such issues. So it's become our responsibility to address such issues. Yes, thanks to coronavirus, 2020 years was a stressful year indeed. We all know this thing. It was a stressful one. Like you can see the graph, this is a graph from 2006 to 2020, another study which was conducted by Gallup World Poll, and it was seen that the stress level has been dramatically increasing. And from 19 to 20, we can see there was 5% increase in the stress level. So thanks to COVID-19, it was a novel situation. People were not aware of how to tackle this situation. People were scared. They were losing their lives. They were not able to meet up the demands which was basically required. So this thing ultimately resulted in increase in stress, further resulting in increase in various mental health issues. Where number of mental health issues have increased. We are now basically the depression, the level of depression has increased, the level of anxiety has increased. As Mrs. Saida pointed out, that I am associated with various telecounseling services. So I used to do telecounseling with of many of the students, and every now and then, since morning, I though my time was from 4 to 8, but trust me, this 4 to 8, this duration of 4 hours was quite stressful for me as well. Because as I used to cut the phone, another phone used to come up. As I used to cut the phone, another phone used to come up, and they all were stressed out. They were basically feared with this new virtual learning thing. They were not able to match with the expectations which we, being academicians, were expecting from them, and some of the teachers also, because this was something new. Like many of the senior teachers, they were not so techno savvy. They didn't knew about this online teaching thing. So it was quite stressful for them as well. It was quite stressful for the students. It was very stressful for mental health workers. It was very stressful for frontline workers. In fact, I did a study, and in that study, I noticed the tremendous increase in level of depression, anxiety, and stress in the healthcare workers as compared to the first wave and the second wave. And I don't know what is the, well, it's a longitudinal study, which we are still continuing it. And I'm sure the stress level would have definitely decreased a bit, because, we get accustomed to it. We get accustomed because every now and then we are bombarded with stressful situation, and ultimately we learn how to cope with it. And this, but what happened? People in the beginning, when they are encountered with the situation, they give up, and that's the thing which we don't need to do. That's the thing. We need to trust on our abilities. We need to develop trust on our abilities. We need to have this firm belief that yes, every bad thing is going to end one day or the other. Well, over here, you can see this. I'm not here to scare you people. What I want is, I just don't want you people to add years to your life, but I want to add life to your years. Okay, so to do that, you need to understand how stress works in our life. In order to understand this, like how you can add years to your life to your years, you need to know like what is stress, what are the symptoms, how we can get out of it, how we can manage it. That is why you need to understand it. So coming to the mechanism, like what basically is what is the internal thing which is going on in our mind and in our body when we encounter any stressful situation. So we basically call it we call it HPI access. So HPI access is hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So whenever a human encountered any stress response, whenever any stressful event, stimulus, anything he encountered, this thing is associated with elevated activity of HPA axis. So the perception of stress can lead to activity in hypothalamus, as you can see in this diagram. As we are encountering any stressful situation, it basically what it does is increases the activity in hypothalamus, which releases corticotropin releasing hormone, or CRH. This CRH, which is basically triggered by increase in activity in our hypothalamus, it triggers our pituitary gland, and this pituitary gland, what happens, this further releases the adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH. So the ATCH then travels through the blood to the adrenal cortex. Okay, now you can see ATCH is traveling from pituitary gland with the help of the blood. It is traveling to the adrenal cortex, and this adrenal cortex is responsible for releasing cortisol. And here the cortisol is the thing which is basically responsible to stress, increased level of cortisol. So stress leads to increase in CRH activation, which further results in increase in the cortisol level. Now, you may be wondering, like, okay, cortisol has increased in our body, so what's the big deal? What cortisol may do? It does. When again, let me correct you. Cortisol increase in a normal level, it's okay, because a bit of cortisol release is essential. It's a mechanism जो कि होगा ही जैसे आप किसी stressful situation को encounter करेंगे. But if this increase is beyond the control, if it goes on increasing and increasing, then it becomes problematic. And just have a look how it becomes problematic. It brings so many organs at risk. Okay, it brings so many organs at risk. There is increased blood pressure, your immune system is suppressed, your insulin counteracts, your fertility is decreased, the sodium and water retention is increased, there is decrease in amino acid uptake, there is reduce in bone formation. It basically aids in metabolism of fat. It results in stimulating glucose and glucogen turnover. Your circadian rhythm is disturbed, right? So see how adversely the simple cortisol, how adversely, and in fact, it is somehow or the other involving your whole body. It's involving your whole body. Okay, so Well, again, I will say I'm not. I know many. I may have scared you to death by telling you the negative reasons of stress. But yes, let me also tell you there is a positive reason of stress as well. And there are certain ways in which stress can be helpful. It's a normal, it's stress, it's a normal part, it's a normal part of human existence. And a bit of stress is necessary. A bit of stress is necessary for everyone. And in fact, there is a phenomena called eustress, which is also regarded as good stress. So you need to first know like what is good stress and what is bad stress. Good stress or eustress is the type of stress you feel when you're excited, your pulse quicken and your hormone surges, but there is no threat of fear. Like for example, there's a new job, you're going on a first date, you get married. अभी शुरू की marriage है ना, usually you stress शुरू की marriage. उसके बाद sure, it is basically for short term, and it inspires you, it motivates you, it focuses your energy and it enhances your performance. Like suppose there is a marriage at your place. किसी का आपके your son is to be married or your sibling is to be married. So that type of stress is eustress. Everyone will be under stress, like, but that stress will basically motivate the family members to work, right? Apart from that, differentiating eustress with the bad stress, however, is the kind that wears you out. It leaves you jittery, and this is harmful to your health. It leads to anxiety, confusion, poor concentration, decreased performance. It can cause headaches, insomnia, weight gain, anxiety, pain, and high blood pressure. But a bit of stress really essential. You must have heard this thing, and you must have, in fact, you must realize this thing. Like Indian mind work under pressure, right? So when we are under pressure, automatically we start doing it in a better manner. काम करने लगते हैं, डेडलाइंस पे ही मेरे स्टूडेंट्स का असाइनमेंट्स मेरे पास आते हैं. मैं उनको एक महीने पहले दे दूं, they are not going to submit the assignment till the deadline is approaching. तभी so what, as the stress is building up, their mind started working in a better manner. So in fact, Skinner, a famous psychologist, he did an experiment, and in his experiment, what he did, he basically created a cage, and that cage was stress-free cage. Every facility was available over there, and let it be the eating, drinking, support system, everything was there. But what he observed that, and he kept chimpanzees in that stress for some duration of time. He observed that the chimpanzees ended up dying. So a little stress is necessary for everyone. It's become, it's a part of life, and it's very necessary for everyone. But when the stress level increases, then it becomes problematic. Now when it will become problematic, you can understand it with the help of symptoms of stress. The symptoms are broadly classified as cognitive, emotional, physical, and behavioral. When we talk about cognitive symptoms is basically cognition. It refers to the mental action, or rather a process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thoughts, experiences. And basically, this is what cognition is. It's an umbrella term which include many cognitive abilities, जैसे कि आपकी attention हो गई, आपकी memory हो गई, executive function हो गए, problem solving हो गए. All of these things comes under cognition. So what are the cognitive symptoms of stress? It will lead to memory problem, it will lead to inability to concentrate, it will lead to continuous worry, it will lead to racing thoughts. So all of these things becomes the cognitive symptoms of stress. And ultimately, I often encounter my patients often come to me and they say, ma'am, मुझे याद नहीं रहता है. They're very young. See, there is a Alzheimer or dementia, if you're aware of it, that is a disease which starts after 60 years. So before 60 years, if a person is coming to you and he is saying कि मुझे याद नहीं रह रहा है, मुझे प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, छोटी चीजें भूल जाता हूँ, अभी चाबी यहाँ रखी याद नहीं रहा, अभी सामान यहाँ रखा याद नहीं रहा. So what is the reason behind this? The reason behind this is stress. Okay, memory problems. Researchers have proven it that cognitive memory problem, which comes under cognition, is one of the stress is the major source of memory problem. Inability to concentrate. A student concentrate, मेरे पास 5 मिनट दिल लगता है पढ़ने में, फिर दिन नहीं लगता है. फिर इधर उधर दिमाग चला जाता है ना. What's the reason of it? You are continuously under stress, and yeah, there are various other factors also, but stress is one of the major cause of it. Either your lifestyle, and because everything ultimately results in stress. That is why I'm saying stress is a reason to it. If you're not maintaining a healthy lifestyle, that will result in stress. If you're maintaining an unhealthy eating, taking an unhealthy diet, that will result in stress. So ultimately, the symptoms, the cognitive symptoms are the results of stress. Continuous worry. Everyone nowadays is such a common thing. Patient come to us and they are like, I'm not unable to separate myself from the racing thoughts. Every now and then, those racing thoughts are triggering me. I'm not able to get out of it. Every now and then, I'm continuously thinking of it. They say, ma'am, chain si ban jati hai. Ek thought ke baad dusra thought ke baad teesra thought, and I'm not able to break that chain. Right? Why you're not able to break that chain? A normal person can do that. Even you are normal. Even you are normal. I've never said you're not normal. But the thing is, you don't know how to basically do it because stress is not allowing you to know how to get out of it. Right? So these are the cognitive symptoms. Then we have emotional symptoms. Yeah, emotional symptoms. You feel down every time you're feeling depressed. Every time you're feeling overwhelmed. Every time you're feeling aggression is there. We have seen we in our department we encounter any of the stressful situation, and ultimately aggression किस पे आके निकलना है? घर पे आके निकलना है. Either on your children, either on your spouses, or either on your parents. So they are the victim person. We cannot go and take it out on the people out there in our department. We end up taking it out on the people at our home. So you don't know how to effectively deal with it. Your stress level is exceeding. It's exceeding beyond the capacity resources which you have. Inability to relax, though you are asleep. You are asleep. आप सो रहे हो, but when you wake up, you think like, यार कुछ body में relax ही नहीं है. No, sleep is basically what sleep will do. It will de-stress you. It will basically rebuild your internal organs, and बाकी आपको normal phase में लाने के लिए तो sleep होता है ना. You get you back to the normal phase. It's a resting time. But when you all must be encountering, or most of you must be encountering this problem, like when you wake up, it's like कि अभी तुम सोए नहीं थे. That freshness is missing. That feeling is missing somewhere. So this is the emotional. These are the emotional symptoms of depression. There are symptoms of stress. Sorry, we have behavioral symptoms. We get nervous. We get nervous on a very small issues. We and ultimately we end up बिगाड़ने का, उसको खराबी करके हम लोग उठते हैं. Whenever we are allotted any task to do, we are so nervous, we are so stressful that ultimately वो task गलत ही हो जाता है. There is increase or decrease in appetite. Some people they indulge in a lot of eating, whereas there are other people, for them basically the eating thing decreases. They stop eating. They are like भूख नहीं लगती है, जितना भी खा लो, appetizer ले लो, ये कर लो, भूख नहीं लग रही. You've often heard your youngsters complaining this thing कि भूख नहीं लगती. Yeah, some are fit and freak. Apart from that, if they are well maintained, but still they say कि they are not able to eat. Whereas you see this increasing obesity. Why it is increasing? Because people are indulging in stressful eating habits, and this stressful eating habit is a cause of stress itself. Excessive use of alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs. I've heard many of my clients saying कि मैम सिगरेट से आराम मिल जाता है, सब गम भूल जाते हैं. भाई कैसे भूल जा रहे हो? क्या ऐसा हो जा रहा है? I cannot relate to that experience. How they able to forget all the gums and all the problems with the help of a cigarette? So, but this is a behavioral symptom. This is a proven behavioral symptom. So I cannot relate to it, but it is empirically proven behavioral symptoms that when you are stressful, it may lead to increase in alcohol, it may lead to increase in cigarette, it may lead to increase in drug intakes. Difficulty or irregular sleeping. Yeah, I have discussed in the previous thing, previous slide as well. It results in loss of sleep, or there are three type of difficulty while you sleep. Like when you go to sleep, तो नींद नहीं आएगी. When you get up, then freshness नहीं होगी. Or third type is when you basically sleep, your sleep breaks in the middle of your night, and then you become restless. So these are three types of difficulties which basically we encounter in a problem in patients having insomnia problem. Then we have physical symptoms. I have already talked about how cortisol affect the organs of the body. So you can relate to physical symptoms like right now it's excessive perspiration, there's chest pain, there's elevated heart, there's feeling of nausea, dizziness, or headache, or there is feeling of frequent cold and illness. These are the physical symptoms of stress. Okay. After physical symptoms, now we know that there is a lot of things which are being affected by this stressful stress which we are encountering, and unfortunately we basically don't know like what are the sources, from where we are being, why we are being caused by it, what are the things which are basically leading to this stressful situation, what are the things which are leading to these stressful symptoms. Some people don't know this thing, like some people are not aware ki kya stressful situation. Like when my clients come to me, I ask them, is there any stress in your life, or is there any problematic situation which you are encountering these a day? They are like, no ma'am, I'm absolutely fine, there is no relationship issue, there is nothing. But when I further explore my client, I somehow realize, okay, these are the areas which need to be taken care of, and I've helped my client to realize them. Yeah, these are the areas where you have to actually look into. So this slide, it took a lot of time to prepare this slide, and you can see a lot of, I've pasted a lot of GIFs over here, and these are the symptoms of stress which we every now and then encounter. There is loss of sleep, there is feeling of fatigue, there is migraine, very common problem nowadays. Every third person you encounter will be suffering from migraine, and I myself is a victim of it, so I know how painful this is actually. But there is a way out. There is a way out to get out of it. It weakens your immune system. Backache is such a common thing. Back is such a common thing. Every now and then every person is complaining backache, headache, and increased blood pressure. You're not able to concentrate, you're not able to do your best. So now the question is like, from where they are coming, why, what are the things which are leading to this? Is the answer to it is the sources. And the sources, the stress sources are basically leading to these symptoms, and these are the sources of stress. Like a simple, let me tell you, even happy events in your life can cause stress. Like eustress, I said, eustress can be, if it is for short duration of time, then it is eustress. But if it increases for beyond a certain level, then it becomes stressful. So happy events are also responsible for stress in our life. And some common sources of stress are, there is certain life change. You are changing your house, you're shifting, you got married, or you had children, any of the divorce or relationship breakout, any of the physical illness, accident or bereavement, legal issues, or arrest or imprisonment. So these are the certain life changes where every now and then people encounter. Their life is changing, right? So they may encounter new situations. So life changes are one of the important sources of stress. Emotional. There are certain peer pressures like the competition between students, like why quota students every year, why quota students are committing suicide because of the peer pressure. One of the student is being selected in NEET exam, another one is not being. JIE किसी ने निकाल दिया, किसी ने नहीं किया, IIT में जाके क्यों IIT में भी, when they are basically at such a renowned place, why they are committing suicide? Why? This is because of the peer pressure, from the family pressure, or they are not able to meet up their expectations, they are not able to cope up with the uncertainty. Like in the COVID case, there were many people who ended their life irrespective of not being diagnosed with COVID. Why did it so? Because they were not able to cope up with this uncertainty. Yeah, another thing is conflicting cultural values and belief. You migrate. We are studying over here. Many of you will be maybe going out for this thing, for your job purpose. Maybe you'll be leaving the country, you'll be going abroad, and you may try to give your best out there, but maybe they may not accept you. This conflicting cultural values and beliefs, they may lead to stress. The late nights or lack of routine may lead to stress. Your diet is very important. What you are eating, you become like that. Your diet is very important. Junk food, alcohol, chips, and ye sari cheezein, they lead to stress. Misuse of alcohol or drug leads to stress. The environmental factors like poor housing or accommodation problem, isolation, very important factor. Isolation is very nowadays we have seen so many old age houses are there. People don't have parents, they don't have their children are not living with them, and this is basically because of the isolation, the stress level is increasing, and ultimately it is resulting in various other problems. Unemployment, very common problem in India at least. Adjusting to new environments such as moving house or travel, financial pressure. Now we need to address the needs of us, of our children, and as well of the society. So we have to meet the expectation, financial expectation of everyone. अभी इतनी हैसियत नहीं है, but we try to portray ourselves in that manner. So financial pressure is another problem. Changes at work, like starting a new job, or coping with an increased workload or a promotion, or poor relationship, or the fear of redundancy. These are the sources. Another major source of stress is social media. Social media is very nowadays it has been seen that it has become another major source of stress. Like a study in US in the Penn Medicine Chester County Hospital was conducted, in which it was seen that how can social media impact your health. It was seen that frequent Facebook users, they tend to worse mental health than less frequent or non users. Social media users who have negative interaction on sites have been shown to have higher level of depression. People who use 7 or more social media sites are 3 times as likely to suffer from anxiety compared to those who use 2 or fewer. Like if they're using Facebook, be Instagram, be and Snapchat, be and there are many more sites, Messenger and Twitter and everything. So they were basically 3 times likely to suffer from anxiety compared to those who were, they were 3 times more sites. They were likely to suffer more anxiety as compared to those who were using 2 or lesser sites. Now, how to unplug yourself? Coming to the main part, like how you can get rid of these things, how you can get out of it, how you can cope up with it, how you can effectively utilize your resources. So for doing this, you need to do stress management. You need to manage your stress in an effective manner. Like I said, stress is a thing. You cannot be stress-free. Okay, you cannot get completely rid of stress. You cannot get completely rid of stress. But I want to basically tell you how to use it appropriately, and in such a manner that your cortisol is not being elevated every now and then. हमारा main मकसद है cortisol level को एक normal secretion में लाना. Stress तो होगा, सबको होगा. We are human beings. We will face stress every now and then wherever we go, wherever. But how we can deal with it in an effective manner, that's the question. The first thing which you need to know is you need to change up the blame game. You need to be accountable for your action. You need to start believing that you need to calm your stress by owning up to the part of that you play in it. You need to be accountable. So being accountable for your action does not add up your stress, but it works basically in a quite opposite manner. Let me tell you, like if you may say कि मैम अगर मैं अपने आप को responsible बनाने लगूंगा तो मैं कैसे stress free हो पाऊंगा? No, it happens. If you hold up the responsibility, it will provide a feeling of relief to you. You know, what happened, like there is a theory of learned helplessness, of psychological theory of learned helplessness for depression. So in learned helplessness, what happened? You think कि अब कुछ रास्ते ही नहीं है, nothing is in your control, everything is against you. You are helpless now. Now, when you will find yourself as accountable, when you will consider yourself as responsible, and you will not consider others for the failure. So once you learn to blame yourself or make yourself accountable, you have the power to change. Trust me, it works. You have the power to change. You can give it a try. Just be accountable for your action, take responsibility for the response to the stress, and you have the power to change. And how you can do that? You can do it by practicing accountability, like catch yourself, like catch what you really afraid of, catch the problem, like what is the thing, why you are not accepting it. If you once you know that, okay, this is the thing I need to work upon, and this is the thing, if I will do, then and the stress level may decrease, then automatically it will help. See it from above. See it from above, matlab visualize it as if you are seeing from above. Be objective. Don't be subjective. जैसे कि कोई और तुम्हारी problem को देख रहा है. See it from above. Okay. Once you do that, you will be able to realize all the factors that contribute to the stressful and others. Understand your role. It's not always necessary you start blaming yourself. No, sometimes the blame game, you are not always responsible. So you need to understand your role, like whether I was accountable for this thing or I was not accountable for it. Whether it was my part or it was someone else's part. You need to understand your role and you need to own up. You need to own up. You need to admit it. You need to like say, okay, this was my thing and I need to work on it and I'm responsible for it. And once you realize that you are responsible to it, and once you accept this thing, automatically it leads to relief of stress. You need to unplug yourself from unhelpful thinking pattern. You know what happened when we are in a stressful situation? We develop certain unhelpful thinking styles. And these styles are like, you may overgeneralize something, you may label something, or you may jump to conclusion, or you may end up doing Milton filtering, yeah, personalization, or all or nothing thinking. These are some of the unhelpful thinking style which we basically develop when we are in a stressful situation. So you need to unplug yourself from these unhelpful thinking styles. So how you can do this? There's a technique in our therapy, in our cognitive behavior therapy, which is known as the ABCDE technique. And in this, we ask a client, first and foremost, to identify the adversity. A stands for adversity, B for belief, and C for consequence. We ask a client to identify the negative image, yeah, circumstance. Like, for example, you can take it from the picture. These are the set of choir girls, and they were not selected for the choir. Okay, so this was an anticipating event, right? This was the negative event that I didn't get selected for the choir. Now the belief which pops up is that I have a terrible voice, I'm never going to be any good at singing, and the consequences are you feel sad, you give up on practicing of singing. So see how just our beliefs, how a negative thought ultimately results in a negative consequences, and which basically ultimately harms us itself. Now what we need to do is we need to basically dispute this belief. We need to stop this belief. We need to change this belief. We need to change this thought. There's another example like the anticipating event in that your son or your husband returns, or your wife, he returned back to your home, or your colleague, anyone, you can relate to anyone. He returned back to the room, and he returned back from the job, and he simply goes to his room without speaking to you. Now the belief, the thought which comes up is like, my son, or he is so discourteous, and he's so rude, and just look at it how she believes. And wives may start thinking, oh my god, is he having any extramarital affair or what? Why is not giving attention to me? And ultimately the feeling of anger is arising, right? Now this thing, the consequence will be that you may end up having an argument with your with the person, and which may basically result in a bad relationship. Now what your job is, what now you need to do is the thought, you need to dispute that thought. Now what you are doing over here, the unfaulty thinking you are using over here, is you're jumping to conclusion, which is one of the negative thinking pattern. Okay, so now you have to search for any positive alternative solution. Like maybe he is quite tired right now, or maybe there was some problem in the job, या कुछ भी आप उसे कुछ positive way में उसे analyze करने की कोशिश करिए. Now the consequence of it will be that you will go to your son's room or that person's room, and you may have a friendly talk with him, and this will finally result in building up the effective relationship or confidence, and both of you can be happy. Ultimately stress is reducing. Another thing is mental technique, that is thought stopping technique. It helps the cognitive distortion cycle and get you back on track. So now you need to stop those thoughts. Like over here you were disputing it, over here you need to stop it. Now you need to notice your thought, you need to use a trigger word to stop that thought, and you need to replace it with a more helpful one. Like I ask my client to pinch themselves. Whenever a negative thought comes them, then pinch themselves, or just say loudly, say stop, or hit yourself with your finger, because this thing will basically help you stopping your negative thoughts, and basically you can replace it with a positive one. Further, you need to change your attitude. You need to find other ways to think about the stressful situation. Just remember this very nice quote it is. This life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. You know, very beautiful quotation if you actually look into it. So talk to yourself in a positive manner. Remember this thing that you can handle it. This phase will overcome soon, and you have handled more difficult situations than this. You can do it again and again. Practice acceptance. Learn to accept the things. We cannot change without trying to exert more control. There are certain things which are beyond our control. Like this pandemic was beyond our control. Once you accept this thing that this is beyond our control, then you will basically lessen your stress level. You need to give yourself this positive self statements like, I'm smart. I just keep on repeating this thing. It will motivate you, and try this thing. If you have stage fear, for example, if you have stage fear, you cannot go and do this any performance. Just keep repeating this thing. No, I can do it. I can do it. I don't fear. I don't have any stage fear. I'm not a failure. I can face the audience. It's in me. I can do it. Just keep on repeating these positive statements. Another thing you can add to it, just take a mirror, keep it in front of you, and just repeat these positive statements while looking yourself in the mirror. This thing also helps a lot. Role of control in stress reduction. So you need to focus on things what is in your control. Okay, just have a look, just focus on those things which are in your control. Don't look into the things which are not in your control. Like, for examples of areas which are in your control are your ability to prioritize work and your personal obligation, your reaction to events and people, your thoughts. So focus on the areas in your control, which are in your control. Your thoughts are in your control. Your reaction are in your control. How to what thing you are prioritizing, what thing you are giving more value to, that is in your control. So focus on those things. And when you start focusing on those things which is in your control, you feel empowered. You feel a sense of relief in yourself. Put aside what is not in your control, like the area, like how people are responding to you. What are other people thinking of you? Just keep it aside. बाहर में जाए, लोग क्या कहेंगे? The very famous thing, लोग क्या कहेंगे? This is the thing which has resulted in so many negative consequences in everyone's life. लोग क्या कहेंगे? लोग जो है ना, ये बहुत ही बुरी बला है जिसे कहते हैं. So just stop thinking about those log. Just respond to your own personal feeling. And once you put aside what is out of your control, you will feel the feeling of hopelessness, the feeling of anxiety, the feeling of stress, being stressed out will subside automatically. Unplug from social media. I've already told you that social media is one of the major source of stress, and I've also showed you a study which was conducted in US, which basically demonstrated like how social media adversely influence you. Then you need to unplug yourself. Now, I know it's very difficult to unplug ourselves from social media because we are, किसी तरीके से बंधे हुए हैं. Social media एकदम हमारे अंदर घुसा हुआ है अब. We cannot get out of it. It has become next to impossible. And especially now when the virtual life is going on due to thanks to COVID-19, it has become more difficult for us. But yeah, there are few tips. You need to try yourself. हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We keep a phone beside under our pillow or just beside our head, and the answer to it is that you use your phone as an alarm clock. So you need to keep your phone away from your bedroom. Just try this thing. Trust me, it's gonna work. Just buy an alarm clock, put it beside yourself. Keep your phone outside your bedroom. Don't use your phone every now and then. Don't put your alarm, because क्या होता है, हम alarm करके उठते तो हैं, फिर आपने देखा होगा 90% of people वही बेड में लेटे लेटे आपने फौरन चलो ये तरह फेसबुक पे क्या नोटिफिकेशन आया, इंस्टा पे क्या आया है, क्या मेल क्या आया है, क्या आया है, you start checking it. So just keep your phone away from your bedroom. Delete the apps. So many apps are there in your phone. So many apps are there. Delete it. And yes, I trust me, I have also deleted Instagram and Facebook recently because I was facing a lot of stress. I deleted those apps. Though I have it on my phone, I'm not deleted my account. I have just deleted the app. Delete it for some time. You can further install it after some time, but delete that. Try to keep minimum number of apps. Turn off the notification. Very effective technique. You turn off the notification. Go to your setting, notification off कर दीजिए. जब फोन के पास जाएंगे तभी देखना है, वरना जो टिंग 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 जो बजता रहता है ना, बार बार आप अपने फोन के पास जाते रहते हैं. Like there was a very famous funny joke which I came across, like लोग तो नमाज पढ़ने के बाद अपना फोन ऐसे चेक करते हैं जैसे कि उनके दुआ कबूल होने का मैसेज आया है. You know, so what is this those notifications, they distract you from every activity. They will distract you, whether you are studying, whether you are offering namaz, whether you are offering any type of prayer, whether you are cooking. Once the ting message aaya, आवाज आई आपके कान में, you go rush and just look at the notification, just a second. And once ये just a second कभी नहीं होता है. It goes on increasing. Have a handy book. You know, books are your best friends. Trust me, they are your best friend indeed. You can have a handy books. And I prefer buying some small books. छोटी books खरीदिए, छोटे size की हो, पतली सी हो, and you can carry it in your purse, or you can carry it in your bag, your laptop bag, wherever you go, so that you can take it out and you can read it. And I advise my clients not to go for big books and मोटी किताबों को मैं मना करती हूँ, especially in the starting phase if you are new to it, because at times they interest खत्म हो जाता है. जितनी पतली बुक होगी, छोटी होगी, तो you are like motivated, okay, it will end, let me give it a try. And this, when it becomes a habit, you can go on for increasing the size of the book. Reduce the number of applications. Reduce, lessen it up. बस एक दो applications, ज़्यादा 2-3 applications. You saw in that Facebook study, जिनके पास 3 applications से कम ज़्यादा था, उनको 7 times more stressful से compared to those who are having 2 applications. Allot 1 hour to your day to respond to emails. Yeah, as I said before, you cannot, in today's scenario, you just cannot say no to technology. Okay, you need to be a part of it. So allot an hour for it. Just respond to your mails, just quickly go through whatever is necessary and just say tada, bye. So I know it is difficult to make it as a habit, so I'm just telling you certain helpful tips to make it as a habit. You can start substituting your social media use with reading or other forms of entertainment. Do this for 1 hour every day for 2 weeks. You know, habit जो होती है वो एकदम से नहीं बनती है. You need to basically work on it. First, you do this for 1 hour every day for a week. In the next week, you can prolong the break for 2 hours. Keep adding until you disconnect from social media completely or you are happy about the result. And to put down a habit and substitute it with the other activity, the best way is to do it on the same time. Like I recommend my clients to start putting off the social media between 3 and 5 p.m. जबकि अलीगढ़ में ये वाला टाइम जो होता है वो सोने का होता है. So at times they say, ma'am, I'm sleeping at that time, what's the use of it? So you can set it accordingly, but this is my suggestion. Like, this is the way you can end up this unhelpful habit. 4 A's. You should make these 4 A's as rule of your life. Avoid, alter, accept, adapt. So just avoid, take control of your surrounding, avoid people who bother you, learn to say no. Very important, learn to say no. Ditch the part of your list, just avoid it. That whatever you think that is of your importance, just only go for that, or else avoid it. Alter, respectfully ask others to change their behavior, communicate your feelings openly, manage your time better, set priorities and hard work, state limits in advance and rehearse success. Alter your behavior. Just try to alter it. Okay. Then accept it. Talk with someone. Very important thing. Talk. You need to vent it out. You need to accept it. You need to forgive people. You need to practice positive self-talk. You need to learn from your mistake. You need to accept your faults. You need to accept faults of others as well. Forgiving is a very helpful technique. When you forgive ना, अपने आप ही एक सुकून सा आ जाता है. So learn to forgive. Learn to adapt yourself. Adjust your standards. You can adopt yourself by practicing thoughts about stopping. You can adapt yourself by reframing the issue. You can basically create an asset column, like you can maintain a journal and you can write down the positive points in it. You can try to look at the big picture and just try to use the right techniques, which I'm basically telling you. Yeah, another thing which causes stress is food. So there are 5 everyday foods that will stress you out. Stress can lead to weight gain. It can lead to high blood pressure. It can lead to lower productivity. And you have control over what you eat, right? This is the thing. You have to see what things you have control of. This is the thing which you can control. So you have control over what you eat, regardless of what is happening around you. So these just look at these 5 things which you need to look upon. Just step away from the coffee. Coffee, it has been proven that it increases the level of stress. Lay off the salt. Salt is associated with increase in level of blood pressure as well, and very further problematic. Just ये भी नहीं करना है कि एकदम खत्म कर देना है. Just make it a balance. Take it in a balanced manner. Okay. Avoid the vending machine. Kick the fried food habit and cut back on the booze. Alcohol and all these things, if people are indulged in these things, they should just basically take a break of it, because they are considered to be one of the leading causes of stress. Okay, yeah, another very effective technique is stress is laughter. Yes, stress is relief from laughter. Yes, it's no more a joke. It is actually relief from laughter. In fact, if you manage to go to these parks, you can see people laughing out. There is a therapy known as laughter therapy, in which we ask a client to sit in a circular form and start laughing. Teज teज हंसना शुरू करो, तेज. When automatically what happens, everyone starts laughing. So when you start to laugh, it doesn't just lighten your load mentally, it actually induces physical changes in your body. It can stimulate many organs, it can activate and relieve your stress response, it can soothe tension, and in a longer term, it can improve your immune system, it can relieve pain, it can increase personal satisfaction, and it can improve your mood as well. So these are many factors which can basically, these are the very beneficial effects of laughter. Next, you need to find a support system. We all are social animals, and we cannot survive without a support system. So you need to find out someone. You need to find a friend, a family, a teacher, a minister, or a counselor. You just need to vent or get off something which is there in your chest, and you actually can feel this. अब बहुत stressful हो, कुछ भारीपन सा लगने लगता है chest पे. So just try it, and once you vent it out, you can feel the difference. हल्कापन आ जाता है, right? So you need someone, whether it's your partner, whether it's your sibling, it's your friend, it's your teacher, or if you don't have anyone, you have counselors, you have mental health experts. You need to go to them and you need to speak out. You need to express your feeling, and the expressing of feeling can be relieving. And we feel supported. When we feel supported by others, it basically helps us in solving our problems. So you need to find a support system and a positive support system. ये नहीं कि आप किसी के पास जा रहे हो, आपको और stress में डाल दें. Go talk to people, those who actually help you in getting out of the situation. Take a break. Take breaks and give yourself me time. Me time is very necessary. Go out for a vacation. Go out for relaxing yourself. सारे काम धंधे छोड़ के just take a break. And when you will come back to your job after that break, you can feel the difference. You can actually feel the difference when you are back. So learn that taking time for yourself, for basically relaxing, is just as important as giving time to other activities. You're giving time to your children, you're giving time to your job, you're giving time to your family. But what we are doing, we're not giving time to ourselves. We don't have a 10 or 15 minutes time also, which we actually give to ourselves, जिसमें हम अपना ख्याल रखें. And ultimately what we are ultimately बस हम लोग एक मशीन हो गए, काम करते जा रहे हैं दूसरों के लिए. We are not concerned for ourselves. So we need to give this me time. Okay, so at minimum, take short breaks during your busy day. You might purposefully schedule time in your day planner just for yourself, so that you can recharge all of the other things you need to do. So learn your red flags for stress and be willing to take time to do something about it. You see, at times क्या होता है ना कि आप लोग बहुत स्ट्रेस हो जाते हैं, आप देखिए कोई काम ही नहीं बन रहा है, कुछ नहीं बन रहा है, काम दिमाग आपका उसमें नहीं लग रहा है. So these are the red flags. So now me time is necessary. So go for me time. Learn to say no. I've already said this thing. I know it's very difficult to say no, but you need to learn to pick and choose which things you will say yes to and which things you will say no. Because If you want to protect yourself, by not allowing yourself to take on every request or opportunity that comes on your way, it's very necessary to learn to say no. So yeah, because now everyone will basically try to take an advantage of you, especially the freshers. I know in academics it's become very difficult for us to say no, but at least for something where you feel nahi yaar, it's going beyond a limit cross over here, now I should say no. You should learn to say no, because yes, remember, self-care is not selfish, and you are doing it for your self-care. So learn to say no, that is also very important. Physical exercise. Yes, physical exercises are very important part, and exercising regularly, it can help you to release some of the symptoms of depression and stress, and it can help us to maintain our health as well. And researchers have proven that it increases the self-confidence, it increases the self-esteem, it increases the self-image of the person. And it's also a great way to take time for yourself and to basically release the physical tension, because when you do exercises, there is the release of certain happy hormones from your body, and those happy hormones will basically help you in decreasing the flow of cortisol level from your body. There are two types of exercises which we basically ask a client to go for. One is the green exercise and another one is blue exercise. Green exercises, when you do exercises, a simple exercise, just a deep breathing. You do it in a surrounded by greenery, right? Something like you go and sit in your garden and just take deep breath. Just look at the plants around you, look at the greenery around you, try to relate yourself with them, try to form the bond with them, and just try to see how it is positively, how just notice the change. Another type of exercise is blue exercise. Like you do these blue exercises near the riverside. Sit near the riverside and just try to connect yourself. Look at the, if you're able to see the sunset, just look at the sunset. If you're able to see the sunrise, look at it. And just involve yourself in simple aerobic exercises or in yoga or in meditation. This thing forms a connection between you and the divine power. This thing's meditation and yoga, this thing increases the connection between you and divine power. It improves your well-being, it improves your quality of life, it brings you at peace. So physical exercises are another reason, very important source of reducing your stress. Meditation, as I said, meditation is also another simple form of exercises. And in meditation, what happens, you basically connect yourself with it can be anything. You can connect with your supreme power, you can connect yourself, you can just simply focus on the here and now phenomena, and you can see the 10 reasons why daily dedication has been so beneficial. You can see that meditation is linked with feeling less stressed, as well as actually lowering the stress hormone, that is cortisol. It is seen that mindful meditation leads to, the studies were conducted on students, and it was seen that better grades were obtained by students those who were involved in mindful meditation. It results in brain changes that protect against mental health condition. It helps us in processing our emotions in a more better manner, and basically getting to know, going more for the positive emotion rather than focusing on the negative emotions. It helps the elderly feel less lonely and reduce genes linked to inflammation. It is linked with decreased cigarette, alcohol, and drug abuse. When we experience less anxiety as we experience less anxiety when we are involved in meditation, because it loosens the connection to the particular neural pathways which are related to anxiety results in anxiety. It is linked to more creativity and new ideas. Your memory recall improves. It's basically, sometimes it is also claimed that meditation daily can reverse the aging process, and not actually reverse the aging process. I will say rather it adds lives to your years. Okay, so these are the meditation benefits of meditation. Yeah, here we have some of the few apps you can, yeah, you must be wondering that ma'am was saying no more apps and she is giving us some few other apps. But these are apps which basically help to relax yourself, and these are these are available at the Play Store, and they have certain relaxation exercises and which will help you to calm yourself down, to get a proper sleep, and it will lighten up your mood, and it will increase your performance, and you can just simply download these apps and you can just go through it. There are certain exercises and voice recordings which you can hear and which will help you in getting out of the stressful situation. Another thing which I want to tell you is that just take care of yourself like a human plant. Imagine yourself as a plant, okay? And see, when you will imagine yourself as a plant, then you एक पेड़ की हम कैसे देखभाल करते हैं? When we need to take care of a tree, we always keep it hydrated and sunlight and ये सारी चीजें करते हैं ना. So imagine yourself like a human plant. So always keep yourself hydrated. Drink a lot of water. वाटर जितना ज्यादा पानी पियेंगे उतना ज्यादा अच्छा है, बिकॉज आपका कोर्टिसोल का रिलीज होना है, ये सारी चीजें जो पूरा मैकेनिज्म है आपका अंदर का वो सब इससे रेगुलेट होता है. नरिश योरसेल्फ विद व्हाट योर सॉइल नीड्स. पॉजिटिविटी. Your soil need positivity. Your soil need positive thinking. Your soil need social support. So nourish yourself with it. Let go of things that no longer help you. Just kick it off. ठीक है, हो गया सो हो गया. I don't care now. बात की बात है, ठीक है, let it off. Just let go with those things off. Don't ponder on it. आपकी लाइफ में कुछ अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, don't ponder on it. I know it's difficult to get out of it, but just try it. सोचिए ठीक है, जो हो रहा है, that's why God will. That's why God will. Now I need to stop myself and I just need to focus on myself. Use support when you need it. Yeah, support. Use it. Your family is your support. Your siblings are your support. Your friends are your support. Just use that support. Because you know, when you automatically a research was taking place, जिसमें ये देखा गया हम लोग के suppose suicidal tendencies थी. So if you have someone to talk with, if you have, अगर suicide करने का इरादा आया, you are going to commit a suicide, but उससे 5 मिनट पहले आपने किसी से बात कर ली, तो you will not commit suicide. The fraction of moments की बात होती है. So use your supports you need them when you need it. Remember, life can cut you down, but you'll always grow back stronger. Yes, you can grow back stronger. जब आप plant में कुछ पेड़ खराब पत्ते हो जाते हैं, you cut it off, right? You cut those that decaying flower or that decaying leaves or that decaying part of the plant. Because when you cut them down, they will grow back stronger. They will grow back. अगर वो सड़े हुए को आप रहने देंगे ना, तो ultimately वो बाकी सारी चीजों को और खराब करने लग जाएगा. So you need to cut it down. You need to cut down the bad part from your life. Then only you will be stronger. You need to catch some daily sunshine. Go on a walk. Make morning walk as your routine habit. Go on a walk. Expose yourself to the sunlight. Expose yourself to the, just keep yourself, just put you down in the nature's lap and just enjoy the greenery around you. Our campus is so beautiful. You can go on a morning walk over there in our campus. There you can basically get you can get these feelings. Give yourself space to grow and know that nothing is meant to bloom all the time. जब अच्छा है, yin yang approach याद कर रखिए. Every good thing will be followed by the bad thing. Make it, accept this fact. Yes, every good thing is going to be followed by a bad thing. Once you learn this thing, it will help you in reducing your stress level. Okay, so now it's time to relax, and I have a 15-minute audio recording, and that recording is going to help you. This is a recording which we basically give to our patient, and this is known as Jacobson Progressive Relaxation Exercise. And there are certain conscious in using this relaxation. You may get this presentation afterwards. So, but if you want to use this relaxation technique, you need to take care of certain things, like for example, if there is any muscle tension or pain or muscle spasm or arthritis problem or heart problem or blood pressure problem, then this relaxation may not be appropriate, as deliberate muscle tensing could exacerbate any of the pre-existing conditions. So generally, if you have a health condition, you should seek medical advice from your doctor, therapist before this. Also read the following: do not drive or operate machinery immediately following relaxation. Do not practice relaxation while driving or doing any other activity that require concentration. Do not practice relaxation on a full stomach. Do not cross your legs and arms. Never practice relaxation to treat or cure undiagnosed symptoms. Always see your doctor for an accurate diagnosis. If you have any uncomfortable symptoms during this relaxation, discuss these with your doctor. Do not stand up immediately after practicing this relaxation. Stay seated or lying down for a few minutes with your eyes open, then get up. Okay, so you can put on your headphones and you just simply close your eyes and just try to listen to the voice. Okay, and repeat, just follow the instructions which are being given in this audio clip, which will Mr. Danish, can you please will be starting it right now, and just try to follow these audio advices, and try to relate yourself with it, and just imagine yourself, just simply follow, close your eyes and simply follow like what the audio is saying. Okay, uh, Mr. Danish, are you there?
I guess your voice is clear now. So if you can try it first,
Okay,
if it's not working, then I will.
okay, fair enough. Let me try.
No, I will try. Voice is
Okay.
not clear.
I'm going to lead you through some of the major muscle groups of the body, asking you to contract and relax them one by one. Tensing and relaxing muscles can help induce a feeling of physical relaxation, which may also help you feel mentally relaxed. As you carry out these exercises, you will experience sensations in the muscles. These sensations indicate tension that you will learn to identify and release. This is a skill which enables you to relax yourself anytime you want to. The more you practice, the easier it will become. We will start with breathing. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. Let your breathing settle down and observe its natural rhythm. Follow a natural breath out, making it a little longer than usual. Then, let the air in. Let it gently fill your lungs, and breathe out, slowly releasing your tensions with the air. And now, let the breathing take care of itself. Now we will focus on your arms. I would like you to focus attention on your arms, whether they are lying at your side, propped on the arm of the chair, or on your lap. With the hands placed palm downwards on a surface, floor, chair arm or thumb. Slowly tense your hands, stretching out your fingers. Do not force the movement, just put a moderate amount of effort into it. Now, as you hold the position, notice the tensions in your hands, the underside of your forearms. Feel them build up, then relax. Let the tension go. Relax the muscles. Let the tension disappear. Go on disappearing as you give the hands time to get more and more relaxed. Notice how it feels when they are fully relaxed. Still with the arms, I want you to slowly tense up all the muscles so that the arms become rigid. Begin with a little tension in the fingertips. Let it grow until the fingers are spread wide. Then stretch out the arms, creating tension in the forearm and upper arm, until the arms are rigid like a rod. Now feel the tension along the arms, but don't overdo it. Then relax. Let them flop down. Feel the muscles going slack and the arms becoming limp. Just the relief, pleasant tingling and the sense of warmth. Let the arms go on relaxing a bit more. Imagine the last remnant of tension flowing out of the fingertips. Notice how the arm muscles feel when they're fully relaxed. And now we'll focus on your legs. Turning your attention to your legs, point your feet up towards your face, keeping the backs of the knees down. Now, hold the position and notice the sensations you're getting in the working muscles around the shin bones. And then relax. As you let go of your leg muscles, feel the tension drain out of them, and continue draining out of them as your legs and feet continue to feel more relaxed. This time, I would like you to point your feet down. Don't overdo it, especially if you're prone to develop cramp. Now, as you hold the position, study the tension in your calves, and then relax. Let go. Let all the tension dissolve. Feel comfort returning to your lower legs. Notice the sensations you get from relaxing the muscles. Continue letting go until you feel they won't relax any further. Now, whether you're lying or sitting, raise your heels up in the air. Now feel the tension in your calf muscles. Hold the action and relax. Drop your heels to the ground. Notice the relief, comfort, the warm, tingling sensation in your calves, the enjoyable feeling of relaxing your feet. Go on letting those feelings continue until your feet and calves are completely relaxed. Then a little further. This time, keep your heels down and raise the front part of your feet as if you were going to tap a rhythm. Now keep your toes up in the air whilst you pay attention to the tense sensation in the muscles around the shin bones. And relax. Let the feet fall down. Notice the relief in the shin area. Feel the tension leaving you, draining out of your feet, and continue to drain out through your toes. Let your attention focus on your toes. Whether you're lying or sitting, curl your toes down, restricting the action to the toes themselves. Some people can do it more easily than others, but just do what you can. Now, feel the tension in the sole of the foot and the calf of the leg. Then relax. Let it go. Feel the muscles going slack. Feel them going slacker as the tension disappears. Notice how the muscles feel when they are relaxed. Turn your attention to your breathing again. Notice its rhythm. It's 2 hands over your stomach. Just let the breathing take care of itself. Relaxation. Breathing out tension. Focus next on the stomach muscles. As you breathe out, pull the muscles in. Feel the tension under your ribs. Then breathe in and relax. Again, breathe out, pulling the stomach muscles in. Breathe in and relax. Let go of the tension, allowing your muscles to spread themselves. Feel a sense of complete relaxation, and let the relaxation become deeper as the moments pass. And now you're back. Moving to the upper region of the back, bring your attention to your blade bones behind your shoulders. Draw them back so they get much nearer to each other without putting too much effort into it. Feel them being gently squeezed together, and then relax. Release the tension, let the muscles soften. Feel your back lying once again in contact with the supporting surface. Notice the feeling of warmth and relaxation, and let that feeling continue on and on. Moving to the neck region, I would like you to lift your shoulders. Hunch them up as if to touch your ears. Now, feel the tension in your lower neck. Feel the sensation and relax. Let the shoulders drop and go on dropping further and further as the tension ebbs away. Feel your shoulders completely relax. And now the head. Keeping your chin in, press back against the support, against the surface or back of the chair. Sit back. Now notice the feelings you get from the working muscles. Tension in the back of the neck, and relax. Let go, feel the area relax. Notice the sense of ease that floats into the area. Allow the relaxation to deepen until all the tension has left your neck. Moving to the many muscles of the face. Raise your eyebrows. Raise them high. Now, feel the tension in the muscle that stretches across the brow. And then relax. Let the tension flow out. Feel the furrows being smoothed. Continue until there is no tension left in your brow. And a little bit further. Focus on your frowning muscle. Bring the eyebrows close together, drawing the skin between them into a deep frown. Now hold it a few moments, then relax. Release the tension. Feel the eyebrows spread sideways. Imagine the space between them widening, and continue until all the tension dies away. We come to the eyes. First, I would like you to screw them up. Now, spend a moment feeling it. And then relax, let go, let the muscles loosen. Notice the feeling you get from loosening them. Feel the skin smoothing out. Next, without moving your head, turn your eyes upwards behind your closed lids. Now hold your gaze up for a few moments. Notice the tension in the muscles. And bring your eyes back to a central position. Then look down as if towards your feet. Now hold for a few moments and return to the center. Look to the right. Hold. And to the left. Hold it. Then bring your eyes back to the front and relax. Let your eyes feel relaxed as they rest in a middle position. Notice how they feel. Compare this to how they felt when they were working. Let them go on relaxing. Bring your back teeth together. Do it firmly, but without actually clenching. Now feel a sensation in your jaw as if you've been chewing. Hold it and relax. Release the jaw muscles. Feel the tension fading, continuing to fade. Then still. Press your lips tightly together now. Hold your lips pursed. Let them go. As they release, notice the feeling of warmth as the blood flows back to your lips. Tune in to the feelings of relaxation. Finally, the tongue. Press your tongue against the roof of your mouth and hold it there. Now feel the tension in your tongue and relax. Notice how it feels when you relax it, and press it against the inside of your right cheek. Now hold and relax. And against your left cheek. Now hold and relax. And pull it back towards your throat, too strongly. Hold and relax. Let your tongue settle in the middle of your mouth, just touching the backs of your front teeth. Feel it releasing tension. Let it go on relaxing. Enjoy the feeling of relaxation. Let that feeling spread throughout your mouth and over your face, making it warm, glowing, and relaxed. Then let it spread to cover your neck and shoulders, your arms and hands, back, abdomen, legs and feet, so your entire body experiences a feeling of complete relaxation. And continue to relax. Now I would like you to scan your whole body and see if any tension has crept back in. So let the tension go and continue to breathe slowly and deeply breathing in relaxation and breathing out tension. And so I'm going to bring this session to an end. Gradually, on the count of 3, I would like you to return to the here and now. When I get to 3, I would like you to open your eyes and feel alert and ready to carry on with your day. 1, 2, 3. Before getting up, give a few gentle stretches to your arms and legs.
Yeah, that's all, Danish. You can please. Yeah, these are the references, and I hope you people are a bit relaxed now after following the instructions. If you have followed the audio instructions, and if by chance not right now, then you can use this relaxation audio anytime you feel like. If you're stressed out, if you want to relax yourself, you can just simply switch on this audio. You can keep it beside you, and you can follow the instructions and do as the audio recording is saying. Okay. So yes, Danish, next slide, please. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. And any questions? Thank you for listening. You can ask any query.